Hello, for everyone that's watching at home after this meeting. We are recording this to show progress in what's happening with the Kakuma Studios project. This is a meeting of the senior team before we actually take it to the place itself. And we actually have something special happening today as well. There's two people who are going to come to the meeting. One is Dr. Simon Otieno, and the other is Robert Kamanzi. Robert Kamanzi used to be a resident of the refugee camp, and he done very well. He left, he went to Nairobi, and then from Nairobi he moved, I believe, to London, and then now he lives in LA. He's a very successful music entrepreneur, has his own label, studios, and he hasn't seen Dr. Simon Otieno for I don't know how long. So they're going to be coming in now, and we're going to see a reunion of these two people as we all get on the same page and move forward with this. So I'm going to start letting people in now, and let's proceed. Okay, that's pretty. Hello. Pretty, just to let you know before you put your camera on, this is being recorded. Okay, just warning you. And you're on mute.
I don't look like I've just woken up.
No, you don't. No. Look fine. You've gone frozen. Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. So the meeting is starting now at 6 o'clock. There she is.
Yeah, here I am. I was cracking a few jokes with you there as well, and you weren't even. But your screen was frozen on a really nice pose, so it's good. I was trying to screenshot it.
Oh, amazing! Okay, wow. So we got everyone coming in. Got Cam, and I believe this is going to be Robert Kamanzi. Robert Kamanzi used to live there. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Sonny?
What's going on, Robert? Robert, this is Pretty.
Hi, Pretty.
Hi, Robert.
I'll let everyone introduce themselves after. I'm just letting you know, though, Robert, that it's been recorded, and we have also Dr. Simon Otieno here, who I believe
Hey, Simon, Dr.
The
Simon.
man himself.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Dr.
Long
Simon.
time no see.
Hello.
How have you been? Long time no see.
Very well. How have you been too?
Good. I'm all right.
I can see we also have, is that Pretty?
It is, yes. Hello.
Is it the word pretty or it's...
It's pronounced Preeti in India, but Pretty's fine. Yeah, I get that a lot.
Hey, come on.
Hello.
Hi, Cam.
I apologize for being late. How is everyone?
Run is good. I'm good.
Very welcome.
all good.
Okay, Sonny, what have I missed? Talk to me. Where we at?
We were enjoying the reaction of these two people seeing each other for the first time in, I don't know how many years it's been. Years, and it's magical how we've all come together and managed to reunite these two wonderful gentlemen through a common cause, which is beautiful.
Beautiful. I apologize for missing the magic, man.
I was recording it, and neither of these two knew. So it's all captured.
I can't even remember the last time I saw Dr. Simon. It's been many years.
Now. Remind me, where was that?
I don't even remember myself. It was either at my studio, most likely at my studio.
Okay.
Wow.
Most likely at my studio in Kilimani.
In Kilimani. Is that yes. That's Kimanzi?
Yeah.
Now you see right now you're putting on spectacles.
Oh my God. The last time you saw me, I didn't wear glasses. Oh my
Yeah, you were not
goodness.
wearing glasses. You
That
remember
was a
doing this
while
class
back.
for us?
Yeah.
Yeah, when you were at the Catholic University. You still remember
Yeah,
that?
there you go. There you go.
Hi, Robert. Come on. I remember
That
you
was
really
a
well.
long time.
You're really changed, actually. So I was trying to recall and say now, where
I've
the
grown
voice
older.
is familiar though.
I've grown older.
No.
Not that young man you last saw.
Wow.
Isn't it funny how, Robert, you've got more grey hair than Dr. Simon has? What's going on there, man?
Maybe
I'm hiding light.
he's still a youngster.
Yeah,
He's still Kam is still a youngster.
Yeah, that was Robert Oyando's place. You remember?
Yeah, Maurice Oyando.
Maurice Oyando, yes, the music producer.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
it's so
really,
good to
really
see you
long
after
time.
so long.
Huh?
It's so good to see you after so long, Robert.
Good to see you too. When Sunny told me the plan, I was like, oh my God.
Right now, you must be above the clouds. You were really talented when the last time I saw you. You must be well above the clouds right now.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
Wow. This is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I'm still producing music.
Wow.
But beyond that, though, not just producing. Yeah.
I would expect.
Altogether. Yeah.
Wow. Sunny, thank you for bringing him here and also for bringing. Allow me to call her pretty, not pretty.
Permission granted.
All right, thank you. Right.
So I was just going to say, Robert.
No, I was just saying, nice to meet you, pretty. And so everybody's come we've met before. So you are the only one I hadn't met.
Yeah, I can give a brief introduction to myself for you guys. Pretty, obviously, you know the name now. I'm the course creator for Out There Studios. I also teach art at a primary school here in the UK. I'm a self-taught acrylic artist. It just sort of evolved from, a childhood passion, I guess, in 2018, and I've kind of pursued it on the side. Do check out my Instagram if you guys are interested. Me advertising myself.
Definitely.
But yeah, art is definitely a passion of mine. I'm a mother of 5 collectively, and also fiance to your very own Mr. Kamali Stevens.
Wow.
So there you go. That's me in a nutshell.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
I will definitely check out your art because I really love art. When I was in Kakuma, I used to do art. I used to paint.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So me and a friend of mine called Alan, who relocated to Australia, we started something called Refugee Artist Association that the UNHCR ended up replicating in other refugee camps across the world.
Wow.
Yeah. Because we were artists and we were bored. You live in the refugee camp for years. You wake up, you see the sun rise and you see it go down and you do nothing. There's nothing to do. And you have to do that for years. So we were like, we can't just sit here and do nothing, because you feel like you're dying slowly, And at the time, the refugee camps are better today because people have mobile phones and stuff like that. Then there was no such thing. No
I
internet.
was going to say there was probably no connection to.
There's no connections. No one can afford a phone. You can't afford a phone. No one could afford a phone. We're talking about 1993 and 94. So at the time there was no electricity. Leave alone now all these other amenities. Today I see refugee camps have electricity, people have televisions, people have phones, people have internet. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys. I know refugee camp is not good, but you guys are way better than we were. We were. It was worse off. So yeah, because of having nothing to do. Actually, I developed my music skills there too, as well, in Kakuma refugee camp. I used to play guitar and write songs every day because there's nothing else to do. So I did music and we did art. We did 2 exhibitions in a little town after Kakuma called Loki Chogyo, which had a lot of expatriates because of the NGOs. So we would go and do exhibitions there and sell our paintings there to all these expatriates in those organizations. So yeah, and it caught fire. Obviously, you got 100,000 people in a refugee camp who have nothing to do. So a lot of people got interested in art because of that program. So it started growing, it grew big. So UNHCR was like, you know what, this is a good idea. Let's replicate it. So they replicated it in other refugee camps across the world. So, but I haven't been in touch with that program, so I don't know what it is now. If it still exists, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah, your
You'll
art.
be finding out soon, Robert. You'll be finding out soon because we'll be going back.
We'll see. I don't know. I haven't been back since 2007.
Wow.
I left, went to Nairobi, became a music producer, and never went back. I was supposed to go back in 2014 with UNHCR as they had a program and that program just didn't work out for some reason. So by the time it worked out, I had relocated out of Nairobi, so I was in the US already. So I didn't go, but some of my artists went for it. Yeah, so I haven't been back in very many years, but I just hear stories of what it's like today.
Yeah.
You'll get lost, Robert, if you came today.
I think I would.
Are you still in contact with
Not
anyone?
Not really much.
Sorry?
It's not changed really much. Just a few highways added here and there, and quite a bit of politicking.
I hear it's a little city now.
Well, that's an exaggeration.
No, compared to what we had, as in
Of course,
we had,
yes, of course.
yeah, there was really nothing. You know, it used to take us about 3 months to get shelter. So for 3 months, you're sleeping on the sand in the heat that gets to 42 degrees Celsius. As in, it used to be, you know, when you shower, you take a shower, you wash your clothes. After you finish the shower, you wear them because they're dry. They're already dry. So it used to be that hot. It used to be that hot. You wash them, you shower, you come back and wear them, and then it used to be that hot. And when the wind was crazy. When the wind is crazy, you have to find a place to hide, because if you don't have a little weight on you, I used to be skinny those days because I was a very young man. I was very, very skinny. So someone like me would have to hide because that wind will go with me. So you find a place to hide, you know?
Yeah.
And also because there was no buildings, there weren't many. So now I think because of the many buildings are there, people are a little bit more protected. But then you would really have to find a place to hide.
Yeah.
Because that wind used to be really strong, and you have to cover your entire head and leave a little bit for you just to see, because the sand will be all over in your eyes, in your ears, in your nose, everywhere. So it used to be crazy then. Because and you will see the storm moving through the few shelters that were in the camp. You just see the sand moving through. It's like a movie. It used to be like a movie, really, what you would imagine. So, but when I see pictures today, I see so many, structures. So I guess it's easier and better. Not that being in a refugee camp is a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's definitely not a good thing, but. Yeah, so that's a little story about me in Kakuma.
Well, thank you.
I wish you could go on. I was enjoying it, although very sad.
We can continue after. We can continue. But No, definitely eye-opening and illuminating as to what the reality is over there, right? Or especially what it was for you. But Cam, you had a question. I think you said.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of slipped me, man. It was just one of those
I'm sorry.
on the moment.
I think you said, are you still in contact? I heard it. Don't worry, I heard it.
Oh,
yeah.
am I still in contact with people there? Most of the people I know left. They were it's called what? They were reinstated into other countries. Most of the people I knew left. You know, so I think a lot of people who are there, either they were young when I was there, they were very young. They were kids. Now they're all grown. But most of the people, those who did not get to be relocated to other countries, probably just left, went back to their countries. But I don't know many people now. You know, maybe there are people that I still know. It's just that I'm not in touch. Remember when I left, we didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have ways of communicating. So if we had, you know, mobile phones, then we would keep numbers, but we didn't have. Even today, sometimes I see on Facebook, you know, some of the people who used to be there with, oh, they're like, oh, nice connecting with you. They're like, I'm in New Zealand. I mean, I'm like, okay, you know, that's how we find each other. There was no mobile phones. There's no way to connect. So we find each other on social media once in a while. You just get surprised.
Right.
Yeah, some of the kids who used to be there, they will just write to me, you know, I used to be friends with my dad, you know, I was 4 years old, you know, now they're all grown. I'm like, okay. So that's how we find each other. But definitely, yes, Kakuma, it's a place I spent 3 years of my life, 3 very, very important years of my life, because I was transformed. I went in one person, came back a different person. What people like Mr. Ochieno got to see, the RK, or you know, they call me RK in back in Nairobi. So the person they got to see was it was a refined person who was going through the fire. So you got a different person. When
And for every one of you, Robert, for every one of you, there's a 10,000 that don't make that transformation, right? Because they might not have the same strength as you and same drive and stuff like that. And and I think that they're the people that we really want to help, obviously. Because
that's true.
You've proven that it can be done.
Definitely can be done. It definitely can. You don't understand. You ask Mr. Ochieno, probably would know a little bit more about me in Nairobi. Coming from such a place, first of all, Kenya is not my country, so I've fled to this country, ended up in this place, gone through this type of life, come out of the camp, and rise to the top of the music industry. And I don't mean this to brag. I'm just saying, rise to the.
No, you're allowed to brag. You're allowed to brag, Robert.
That's not me. So come from that place to be really at the top. I remember. So when I was seated, I was the chairman of the equivalent of like ASCAP or BMI or PRS in the UK. You know, the music collection body that collects royalties for musicians and for songwriters and composers. I was the chairman of such an organization in Kenya, you know, with over 50,000 musicians that I was leading. And so I remember, so we were trying to we were setting up the infrastructure for royalty collections, and I worked on that for 7 years until it was part of the law of the land. So worked with from the top, with the president all the way to parliament, and so I remember sitting down. Of course, we had the resistance of all these big multi-billion-dollar organizations, telecom companies that were using music and not paying musicians. So and I waged a fight against them, and were in court for more than 6 years. And I remember sitting down with the president. He's like, you know, I need your help, and he's telling me, you know, what you say is what we go with. The president of the land is telling me, what you agree with is what we go with. And I remember that moment thinking about Kakuma immediately. Me sitting in a little tent in Kakuma, and here the president is telling me I need your help. So I was saying that to answer you that it can be done. It can happen. It can happen. You can be in such low place and still make your way back to life and impact people.
Yeah.
It can be
You know,
done.
I think I just wanted to raise my hand there just because it kind of leads into really nicely into what I wanted to ask you, and that was what are your hopes for this project that we are going to be launching in Kakuma? What are your hopes?
So how the project was presented to me, Sunny sent me a document which had this component. So besides the sound rig itself project, they had this project that they want to do to help people back in Kakuma. And I was like, I told him, hey, I have been there. I would like to support it whichever way I can. So, and mine, I'm not obviously Sunny and Co, you're leading the project. I just say I would want to be here just to support and give back where I can. Actually, initially the document was talking about that they're going to plan to buy equipment, some type of equipment, and go establish something there. So I said, I can give you some information. I can connect with some people, and hopefully I can, donate towards the buying of the equipment, whatever little I can. But I said, I would like to support as a way for me just to give back. I know there's a young man or young woman out there, who has a gift, who just needs that help. If I had that in Kakuma, maybe I would have made more hits than So and this is their time, the fact that they can connect to the world through the internet from there already. So if they're given such an opportunity, such facilities, I think it will be awesome for them, And I say, mine was just to support the project, and through information and hopefully donate towards the setting up of that studio, whatever way I can. So so far that's where I am at. So
And that actually perfectly brings me to where what I wanted to say was so the last time we spoke, Robert, Dr. Simon I never knew he existed, right? And he wasn't there. And since we spoke to you, there's a tremendous amount of progress that's happened with this project. So I think maybe Dr. Simon, if you could say from your perspective what's happening with the University of Nairobi and how we plan to go forward with Kakuma, it will bring Robert up to speed more or less on what's happening and how this partnership will work. Dr. Simon.
He's frozen.
All right.
He's frozen?
He's just thinking about what he's going to say.
He's still on the same. Okay, there he is.
Is he coming back?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. We can hear you. We lost you for a second.
Did you hear what I said?
There was a blackout. It was a blackout. No, I didn't. Sorry, I was off network.
Right. Okay. So I was just saying that Robert was one of the first people I spoke to about this project, and he was very keen to help back then. And I was also saying that since I spoke to him, there's a lot of progress that's been made, particularly with the connection and the partnership with yourself and the University of Nairobi. So I was hoping that you could, bring everyone up to speed with what you think is happening. I mean, what is happening over there at the University of Nairobi and how this partnership will work in your view.
Hello, you can hear me now?
Yes.
Very good. I think for the sake of Preeti and Robert, we are actually partnering with Out There Studios and Soundrig in establishing a relationship that is going to be beneficial to the youth in Kakuma and also our students at the university. Now, the idea largely is a partnership that is going to help promote the talent in Kakuma, both in music and film, and also bring in what I would like to term as a capacity building, scenario where both our students and the youth in Kakuma can come together to do projects together, not only for our students to, get their grades in terms of the courses they're taking, but also for them to experience world-class standards in production. So Out There Studios will bring in the film aspect. And of course, with the partnerships like we've had and we've discussed, with other partners too, like Greenwich University, which I talked to. We had a very lengthy meeting today discussing the new development. And we were very excited that Greenwich University is going to come on board, and we are looking at it in terms of capacity building and so on and so forth. But ultimately, the foundation of the whole project is in Kakuma. And the idea we have here is that we are going to find a platform. Soundrig has a beautiful online platform that is going to be marketing the product of this relationship. We are also hoping to establish a studio at the University of Nairobi, and also some, editing suite, if you wish. We call it an editing studio, but it's simply a mass of computers brought together with the headphones, and students sit there and they enjoy themselves. And ultimately, I think this is what I've noticed the University of Nairobi loves about it all. Allowing the students to operate within the real world, getting out of theory, so to speak. The theory is there. You speak about the theory in class, but when you go out there, now in a practical sense, where we have them creating the music and the music videos for a world platform, not for their marks and for the grades in class, but for a world platform where they'll actually be competing with the best in the world, so to speak. So up to that point, we are really saying there is going to be quite a bit of not only a challenge for us who are going to be running this project, but also a platform upon which we are going to meet a lot. I mean, we are already expecting to find youth, like Robert said. Once they get, I have a small project, Robert. Maybe you, at the time we were meeting in Kilimani, we didn't share this with you, but we have a project in Kayole slums with children, and they're always trying to sing. There are a few links I'll give you. They are trying to tell the narratives of the traditional narratives, but we tried it in music video and green screen almost 8-10 years ago. I uploaded it on YouTube just for fun. But incidentally, what happens, and I do expect this in Kakuma, that when these students realize that there's an opening for them to try out their talent, everybody's a musician. Everybody wants to give it a try. And, and with that, you realize that you get everybody on board, and it goes beyond your expectation. Sunny and Cam, I think we expect a massive following. You'll get the youths all coming on board. And the goodness with it all is that we are not only in music. In film, we had a meeting with the other day online with the Kakuma, some of the youths from Kakuma. And you could see how excited they were when they're also going to act in films. And the goodness with film is that it is multi-scaled. I might not know so much about film, but I'll be told to be handling the camera, and I'll be the one carrying it everywhere. And that's my pride in all that. And as I'm doing that, I'm learning a skill, the management of equipment and so on and so forth. I might not be very good in singing, but I might be good in acting. Even though I'm not picked as a main character, I will see myself in the extras, So there's an opportunity for all of them to participate, and really feel part and parcel of the whole. So, the first impression, one of my colleagues was asking me today that, okay, if we are going to concentrate on talent, doesn't that mean you're only going to pick the very best and then you leave the others out? And I told them, no. Our program does not allow for that, because we will have the very talented, we will have the enthusiastic but not talented, We will have the clueless, but very happy about the whole project, but everybody's on board and everybody will get their space. And in that sense, therefore, for me, and I thought I wanted to share this with the rest of the team today, I am seeing an influx of crowds of youth that we will need to manage. We will need to set up, departments that are going to manage each and every capability. Because even those who are afraid to speak, those who are afraid to sing, those who are afraid to perform, will still have a space.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have something to do. And in the long run, whatever product comes out, they'll be proud to say that that was our project. I think the other thing which I've already mentioned, which I really do believe is also going to be a big thing, is once they come from Kakuma with the project, so to speak. Soundrig has put them on that platform. The world is excited about them. They have earned 1 or 2 coins. What next? So there is the thought of getting, a place in Nairobi where we will consolidate all the talent, and they'll be able to make their choices from there. So once they consolidate them in Nairobi, they'll also be a resource. They are not only here because they have made it in life, but they're also a resource. Now, like Robert is coming back to give back, they'll be able to give back in their own way and make their own choices in life, whether they want to live in Nairobi or they want to relocate the way Robert did, and so on and so forth. But wherever they'll be, I can assure you people, my vision is that we are creating an empire. That was exactly my vision when I was dealing with those children. It was my PhD project, like I said last time. Right now, I have one of the girls who is with DWTV in Berlin. I have around 10 to 20 who are working with, private film production companies in Nairobi. And, it all came from a context where actually you will take the main character to act a small film, but everybody wants to come on board. And out of that, everybody, I'm so surprised, they keep calling me. The other day, was it last week? They wanted to organize, a show of all the films they have made since we began for the PhD project. And some of them are really good. And they wanted to present that to the current Minister of Arts, and Sports, called Mr. Babu Namwamba. And it was their own organization. Actually, I was not even involved. I was so shocked to be told, hey, we are organizing this. Some of them are now in business. One of the companies competing with Uber, is called, it's one of the cabs around here, called Bolt. The chief managers are from that little project of the kids. There are 2 girls who are managing it. I have some of them who are in the county government. I have at least 3 one is a lecturer, 2 are finishing their masters. And it all came from a very simple project that did not seem to have a future. I was not funded. Up to this minute, I'm not funded. Even the other day I was telling, come on Saturday, I have a rehearsal with those kids. They are now trying to devise something that looks like a TV program. They want to do a TV show for children. And because they are always on the internet, they go to YouTube and they don't find enough programs for children other than the cartoons. So they wanted to, do their own film stuff and have some kind of presentation, some kind of studio, which you'll do on, we've done that before. And so what I'm saying in short, because, this idea is so exciting, you will want to talk forever. What I'm saying in short, for the sake of Robert, is that we are starting a platform, or rather we are engaging in a platform that is going to be seriously explosive. However small the beginning might be, but I'm seeing a situation where it will make a difference, being the only project of its kind in many of the wild refugee status, other than what Robert created, the art, and which went to other refugee camps. But I do think this is unique, and we are set to go places. I don't know whether I've answered your question, Sunny.
Yeah, pretty much, quite comprehensively, I would say. But no, I guess the person to ask is Robert, if he's feels up to speed. But Pretty has had her hand up for a while, so please ask your question, Pretty. But thank you, Dr. Simon.
Yeah, my question was, who is able to access these facilities in terms of the students? Like, does it depend on their financial background? Who's able to access?
No, so far what we are doing is we have what we like to call the free traveling theater, for instance, which is not only students taking performing arts. We have students from engineering. Actually, our best actor this year, when we took a play to the festival, and we were the best university. The play was the winning play at the national festival of all the universities earlier in the year. And the best actor was a student from engineering department. So it is an open system where we get the very best. We have yes, of course, we have those students who are within the department who pursue their bachelors, especially in performing arts, which includes, they choose either dance, there's theater, there is film, and so on and so forth, which they major in the third year and the fourth year. But when it comes to the facilities, what we are planning, we already have the structures that talented students come up. We even had a band. We had a band with the guitars and the trumpets, and you wouldn't believe it. None of the band members was from the performing arts department. So it makes it's rather interesting. It's very expansive because we are dealing with talent. So long as anybody will display talent, no one is going to be locked out. That is within the university.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can add to that as well. Obviously, in the camp is going to be open to everyone. Every child who has a passion, right? In the camp will access the music studio or the film studio and maybe try all of them, right? Whatever they like, to discover their true passion and talent. With regards to the university, well, the studios in camp and the university are going to be self-sustaining systems in the sense that they are going to be free for music artists to use. And when they make music and they then sell it, whether it's in Web3 or in Web2 using normal streaming sites, when they upload their music, a portion of that revenue will go back into the studio. So therefore keeping it open and free for everyone for life. That's the idea. And then remember, it's not only one refugee camp. There's Kakuma, but there's another 2 in Kenya, almost as big, but not as quite. There are also people with dreams there as well, right? And there's also people with ambition and talent there as well. So we need to do this with Kakuma first, learn everything that we can to make it better and better and better. And then as soon as we can, do the same again over there, and then also replicate that in other parts of the world as well. But so we need to get this one up and running and do the best job we can first time round. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, thank you.
I wanted to ask Dr. Simon, have you already had any engagement with Kakuma in any way?
Robert, the first time I engaged with anybody from Kakuma is when I met you.
That's right.
The next time I hear anything about Kakuma, largely is on the press, and of course until our current chair did her PhD on Kakuma narratives, children's narratives in Kakuma. So when she was doing her presentation, we listened to her, and she brought Kakuma very close home. So we listened to and actually that's what I was thinking about. Sunny, this is going to be very beautiful with Robert on board, because Robert is an expert in music, right? And we are looking at, a camp that has people from, let me call it, not Camp Kakuma, but Camp Africa. There's so much resource from the cultural backgrounds of these people that can be, beautifully executed to benefit not only them, but also to benefit society, because there is a lot of information in that people will take home from beautifully done music, from beautifully done films, which are based on given real African cultures. So, sorry, Robert, I know you asked a simple question, but this is so exciting. Sometimes when I start talking, I feel like we need to go on and on and on and on and on. But the other day, we also had a meeting with quite a number of the youths from Kakuma. And listening to them, I was I don't know whether, Sunny, you realized that I was very, very quiet throughout.
Yeah.
I was trying to get those stories live. And it was very exciting to hear the way they will be reacting to the different proposals that were being put across. So, Robert, I'm not sure I've answered your question, although with so many words.
Oops. All right. Yeah. So you've been speaking to you've spoken to the youth in Kakuma. So I was asking in terms of if there's any projects that you've already worked on, like going there and just seeing what they're doing and something with them in any way.
No.
But it sounds like it's something that is in the works. So what I would just say, I think there might be need for a clear definition of this cooperation between the University of Nairobi and the youth in Kakuma. Is the university engaging with Kakuma, or this is a project that Dr. Simon is engaging with Kakuma, even though with the University of Nairobi, participating indirectly? So this is something I don't think I have clarity on that.
Oh, it's an agreement between Kakuma and the University of Nairobi. We're getting an agreement signed by the Vice Chancellor imminently. I'm hoping, Dr. Simon, but it's going ahead so that they're going to be the official partners for Kakuma Studios. And that's why we're not calling it Kakuma Music Studios or Film. It's Kakuma Studios, because with Cam now involved, with what I started, we've got music and film involved now, right? So we're going to be bringing the whole works to the camp, and University of Nairobi will be intrinsically part of that.
The reason why I'm saying that, because having an institution such as the University of Nairobi, it would make it it would help make it structured. Remember when I was sharing with Sunny, I said that one of the key issue would be managing these studios, and having people do what they need to do and take care of the equipment, because you can just give people the stuff and within 3 months there'll be nothing left. It's not secure, it's destroyed, they're not taking care of it. If there's no proper management of this thing, it will be very difficult to do. And also we can't take out the fact that not always people have good intentions, even though they're in problems. People don't always have good intention, but if there's a proper organization such as the institution of the University of Nairobi, which is a really big institution, leading this management and the administration of the whole project, I think that would be amazing. So basically, what I can say, since the last time we spoke, this thing has just become bigger than
Told you. And listen,
I was trying to offer my little help, but now it looks like it's become way bigger now.
So I think, Simon, just to clarify that, what the conversation that we've been having, right? In terms of, I guess, film production, I've come in to support Soundrig because I see the impact that this is going to have. We had our conversation early on a few months ago, and me and Sonny, we've knuckled down, and we've been pushing really deep to bring all the pieces to the table that is going to execute this project to a high standard. So one of the partners that I'm bringing to the table is going to be the University of Greenwich. I'm a guest lecturer there. One of the lead lecturers there is my friend Dr. Ella Simpson. So she studied film and media arts production at the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama, which is the #1 drama school in the country. And although she works in criminology, the arts are her passion. Now, why do I bring her to the table? Because the research element of what we're doing is huge. And I think in terms of, I guess, what the University of Nairobi need, in terms of helping to bolster out the curriculum, doing exchanges with students so they can come to the UK and study and see how the bigger institutions are doing it. in terms of getting facilitators and lecturers over to come and shadow the University of Greenwich and be a part of their department to see how their mechanics run. In terms of my partner helping to create the syllabus and the teaching material so that you can train the trainer to give the project sustainability, as well as bringing equipment and resources to the university so it can bolster out its offering to the students. Now, these are areas that I'm really happy to know that I can be able to execute and bring to the table. So in terms of, I guess, where we were to where we are now, we're really pushing it forward really quite quickly. And I think, like you say, with the University of Nairobi's involvement in this project to help safeguard it and manage it, I can see it having a sustainable future and impacting many lives within the camp and within the university simultaneously.
Right.
Yeah.
I think. Okay. Sorry, Robert. Go on.
Go ahead. No, I was saying that sounds fantastic. As in, it's really wonderful. One of the other things I shared with Sunny is that it is inspiring to involve some of the people they look up to, especially in this case in Kenya. Some of the people they look up to is some of these artists that have done great in Kenya.
Yeah.
So because they already know them, they'll be inspired by them already, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And one of them who has already done projects in Kakuma and actually recorded music in Kakuma with some of these refugees, it was a rapper named Giuliani. Yeah, Giuliani has also carried out projects in the slums of Korogosho and those other places, and Dandora, because he comes from the slums. Yeah. So he came from the slums and made it to the big stage, as a rapper, and he's really amazing at this, and also he's working with a lot of big organizations as well. The projects he does back in the slums is to give back to where he came from, and one of the projects he's done is actually, I think it was about 2 months ago, they were in Kakuma recording, and he took along some other musicians, one of them including his name is Eric Wainaina. Dr. Simon will know him.
That's a big name here.
It's a big name in Kenyan music industry. So they went to Kakuma and did some music with some of the kids. So he already has a relationship with the would-be or the aspiring musicians of Kakuma already. So, and I spoke to Giuliani, and I told him about the little I know about the project. So, and I told him that I'll be connecting him with Sunny so that we can see how he can be of help to you guys. He has a lot of resources that it will be good to talk to him, because he already knows how to work with youth, from underprivileged background. He already has been to Kakuma, recorded with those guys. He's a big name in the hip hop music industry in Kenya, of which a lot of youngsters, are inspired by. So he already knows how to navigate some of these things. So he will be a good resource, and he's on the ground. So he'll be a good. I am not on the ground, but he's on the ground. I think if we manage to to connect with him and have him come closer to the project, he will be a great resource to have. So
Cam, you're on mute.
Sorry, guys. I said, yeah, that sounds amazing. And most definitely, I think that just again brings more strength to what we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, amazing.
There's also another young man in Nairobi. His name is Jay Blessing. He's one of the biggest music video directors in Nairobi right now. Has been for the last maybe 10 or so years. He also produces TV shows. So he's been, Dr. Simon, the Churchill Show Live, which is
yes, I know. Yeah.
So this young man is the one who's been producing it for TV. So he's
Wow.
in terms of the videography, and he's really, really, really involved, and he's a mentee of mine as well. So, and I thought about that would be somebody I would like to connect you guys with as well, as a resource on the filming side. I know a lot of people. And so there's a company in Nairobi called Film Studios. So it used to be really, really a bigger company when there's a lot of movies being shot in East Africa. They had all this equipment and all that, but they're still there, even though they've reduced the size of the company, but they're still there. I know the director as well. They have all kinds of every equipment you can think of for filming.
Yeah.
They have, and I think having such people as even friends of the project, because we might not have everything that you need for filming some of these things. So, but having such friends of the project, the stuff that is missing, you might be able to get it from people like them, and there's something they can do as the CSR part of their work. And I would also will try and connect them with the project, so that at least they can be friends of the projects for where their help is needed. Maybe they would come in and help. Because when I was young in my career, and I used to do a lot of music videos for the music we're doing, sometimes they would just help me, because sometimes I didn't have the funds to pay for everything, and they'll be like, okay, you pay for this, we'll add you this and that and that and that. And we had a great relationship, because what they wanted was to see me succeed at doing this. Because if these artists become big, now they become customers for them, because now they can afford it now, once they have hits. And one other person I think I would probably want to introduce to you guys as a friend. There's this company called Live Gigs. So Live Gigs, they offer sound for all the biggest events in East Africa, even all the way to Southern Africa. They do big events. They're able to do sound for an event with 50,000 people.
Wow.
They're that big. And the owner, Tom, is a good friend of mine. He's a man who loves to do charity and to help, because all these big events are not always happening, so there's a lot of downtime where the equipment is just there, and I remember when the discussions I used to have with him, it used to be, if there's something worth lifting an industry, we could do it, because if they succeed, then they are the ones who are going to be hiring us for their big events, for their own big events. And also, still as a company, CSR is something they love to do. So, and I'm talking about these people because from knowing them, these are people who have a heart of giving, and I think something like this, they might be something they will want to. I can't promise, what they will do, but knowing that people themselves, these are people with a heart of giving, and I would want to just bring as many friends of the project. Maybe in whatever kind of developments, they might become partners of the project. I don't know, but at least bring them closer, let them know about the project. So, because you never know when you're going to need them as this thing develops. Because I'm looking at, so you create the art, you have to figure out how to present the art. The art is presented through whatever platforms, and then now you have to perform the art, and this is where some of these people come in, where they can be able to help and probably blow this thing out of the water, man, and make it as big as it can be and change the lives of some people. And that's my 2 cents.
That is very, very good. Yeah.
That's a lot of 2 cents.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a million cents.
Yeah.
Okay, the other thing I think I wanted to say is that Robert mentioned something that we actually discussed today about the management of the studio.
Yeah.
And I think we've put the head of department on alert that will need a sound, rather the studio manager who would permanently be stationed there to take care of that. We actually got some equipment, like I told you, Sunny, from the University of Leeds some time back.
Yeah.
That equipment is all still intact. And because, sometimes what happens is that students could get very excited. And then you get a few who may want to pinch a thing or two. I think the department, we are very strict on that. We still have all the equipment the University of Leeds gave us 3 years ago intact. And we had a panel, LED light, which actually, the only thing that happened is that it got burned. One side, the white light got burned. I think it was something to do with the current or something like that. But otherwise, everything else is intact. And I think your concern was also our concern. That once we place something like that and then you say it's open to everybody, some people might not come with very good intention. So we are taking care of that and thinking about it very, very seriously. And maybe just to add on what Cam said, the university is involved, yes, but it is fronted by people. Like I am in charge of this and I am answerable to the university and answerable to this group. So there's that interconnection. And when it comes to research and all that, the partnerships, as Cam said that. So I think, like we said, it's a massive, very, very big project.
Cam, you want to add something?
You're on mute.
Sorry, man. I've got the fans on over here, and it gets a bit noisy. Saying, the further we get into this project, the more beautiful it's becoming. The narrative of Robert, of the head of the literature department, in Nairobi, and her doing her PhD thesis on it. And I think that the overriding theme of giving people hope and letting them know that they haven't been forgotten, I think that is a powerful message in itself, and just giving people opportunity. You give people opportunity, you don't know what they're going to do. You plant that seed of hope, right? You don't know where it's going to take someone. Robert, you're a prime example of that, so I just thought that it was really, really powerful bringing you guys together today. And thank you for involving me in the call, man.
Of course. The magical moments like these that keep the whole project fueled, right, and keep us going forward. But I'm feeling like, wow, but I didn't know how powerful this is going to be when you came together. But Robert, I feel that you really get a sense of it now, and obviously giving you more comfort, I guess, confidence in it, because we have the University of Nairobi and someone that you know and trust, Dr. Simon. So this is something that, as I envisioned it, is going to happen, no matter what. Whether I was going to do it alone or ideally with a team like yourselves, it would happen much better and much quicker. So thank you so much. Pretty, do you have any questions? Because this is your first time meeting with everyone.
I've kind of been kept in the loop about what's going on. So currently I don't have any questions. It is a lot to take in. Like Dr. Simon said, it's huge. But no, at the moment, I'm good. Okay. I'm good.
Okay, I think, Robert, you have also even made it larger by when you're introducing all this, big names in music. We also hope we could even bring in Eric Wainaina, so that, it will also be a point of uniting all these Kenyan musicians and, with a singular purpose. And, that even makes it much bigger than the word big as we used it. So thank you very much, Robert, for agreeing to come on board. I mean, we can already see it is swelling. We need to actually hit the road running.
Absolutely.
I might not have millions to donate to the project, but at least if I can bring hands that can help 100%. Out, it'll be great. But my vision is not to. I'm not trying to say I would unite the Kenya. I tried that for 15 years. I didn't make it. The musicians in Kenya, it's a bit more complicated. It's more
No, you
complex.
ate a whole cow. You
Eh?
ate a whole cow. It was the tail remaining, so you just finished the tail.
I tried for 15 years. I was their leader, and it's more complicated. There's more nuances. We're gonna break it into chunks and start with these small
Right. Yeah.
underprivileged ones and build from there. I don't know if you remember if you ever saw a song called Wakenya Pamoja that I did after post-election violence of 2007.
Yeah.
So
Yes, I do.
this was a time where this election was really a big deal, and after the announcement of the results, it was chaos in Kenya. A lot of people died, and Kenyans didn't want to listen to any politicians. So the only people they managed to listen to was us, basically. So I brought together almost 50 musicians, and we did a song within because there was curfews and all that, you couldn't move, but we managed to do it. The music video was shot outside my house, outside the studio. And they were willing to, to come from their home, travel to the studio when there's curfew, when there's chaos everywhere, the streets are burning. It was crazy, and we were able to do that, but it calmed the spirit of the people in the country, at least to a great extent, to as it could, and it was actually very powerful.
Can you share the name of that? Can you share the name of that, Robert, so we can?
If I think it's on the song is on YouTube. Wait a minute. How do I send a link from this one? It's called Wakenya Pamoja. So
I just said I'm going to say.
Here, let me do that. Oh, yeah. Let me. So yeah, let me send the YouTube link,
please. So, in
so
terms go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Where did I go? I think I got lost somewhere. So I've sent you guys a link of this song. It's old because it's been a long time.
I'm opening the link, but I'll play it after.
Yeah. So yeah, we were able to do that. So music, and it's just one of the many projects I've done. I've done a project also that brought different artists when we were working something with World Vision about ending hunger. The project was called Feed the Hungry Billion. So I've worked with organizations to do these projects. I did also another project commemorating 15 years of the genocide in Rwanda with various East African artists. So I've always been able to bring artists together for certain causes. But this Kakuma is something I really look forward to, whichever way I can help, because it's a place I lived, it's a place I experienced, but it's a place where I got transformed to become who I am today. So I believe I am who I am today because I went there, because it helped me. It helped me wake up. It helped me, shade. I usually say when you go through the fire, you shed all the foolishness around in your life, and you come back there with proper focus. Yeah. It was fire, but we can make it easier for people going through that fire, because most people who are there don't want to be there. It's not an easy place to be. Mm-hmm. It's not an easy place to be. It's a very tough place to be. Even I'm sure even with the comforts of modern technology today, it still is a tough place to be. No one wants to be, in such a situation, because you can easily become hopeless. Yeah. Because for us, waking up, seeing the sun rise and go down every day, and you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's going on. I lost a lot of my friends who died out there. Diseases break out and people die. I buried a few guys over there. So it's a tough place to be, because you feel like your life is on pause. Mm. you know, and the world is moving on, and I can imagine for them when they're seeing Twitter and Instagram, they're seeing other people doing things, you know, and they're like, what are we doing here? Is it our fate? If you feel like you're in a prison of some kind. But I think this project will help. What I've heard is that there might be other people trying to do stuff there, so I don't know how that is going to work.
Right.
If you know, but there are other groups of people trying to do stuff there, help in this way, you know, in the same way, music and arts and
I think it's so vast, the space, as you know, right? They've told me it's so big, and they've got different sections of the camp that
oh yeah, it is big.
they haven't told anything. I've asked them if there's anything else happening, and they're like, we not in our area. So I don't know if how it would work, but I would certainly be up for, you know, teaming up with other projects if that could be a way to do it. But I think that what we're doing is so unique and nuanced, and with the, you know, connection with the university, that there's huge scope, and there's plenty of space for many projects to do things at the same time, because, you know, there's not enough, basically. I don't believe so.
The involvement of the university, to me, is key. Is really important.
Yeah,
it's important that it first of all, it lends it legitimacy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what I would say is it might be important to get the numbers in terms of demographics, and I don't know how many people there are now, because when I was there was at least close to 100,000 people in the refugee camp. I don't know how many they are now.
250,000 plus.
200. Oh my God!
Wow. And growing every day because of the recent.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. I can imagine
there, Robert. We have a team there who are doing this work right now. They've already done the feasibility report, which we have got and released in public, so people know about it. And they're also getting the demographics ready, right? Letting us know how many kids want to do this or that or the other, right? So we know going in. But obviously the need is there, so we're going to do it anyway. But it's good to know these things. He's got this team ready of people who are trusted in the community to be security, 24-hour security in the camp. And in the university, we'll let the university take care of that. There's a studio manager. He's already been he's had plenty of opportunities to leave. He's a social worker there. So he arrived as a resident or a child. He's been there so long. He stayed there, and now he's helping other kids with other charities as well. So he is, I know for a fact, the right person to be the studio manager. He hasn't got music experience, but he's got management experience and people experience. So he can ensure that there's fair use and there's scheduling and stuff like that, right? And so we've got a good team there. Obviously, it can be strengthened. The next step for us now is basically getting all the pieces together. So equipment and funding, we have the people. So we have a community VC round on a Cardano blockchain. I believe by the end of September, mid-October, we will know if we got enough votes, enough supporters of this project to get the funding. That funding for this project is only $25,000. So in any case, we have quite a big funding gap. So what we'll know at the end of September, say middle of October, what we will know for sure is, do we have 25,000 to start with? 75,000 ADA, and at the moment it's around 30 something cents, 34 cents, right? So it's basically, a third, right? So 75,000 ADA is equal to approximately $25,000 US. So if we get that, we know that we only have to plug that gap of another 35,000. But if we don't get it, we know that we have to start from scratch with the money. But then we also got, powerful partnerships like with the universities and that we can start pooling together equipment, etc. And then we'll know what the funding gap is and we can work on it from there. So in any case, we will know by the end of October when it is that we can actually go to Kakuma and implement this project.
What I know about the refugee camp and life in the refugee camp for the refugees is that they are all looking towards resettlement.
Mhm.
So
Oh, guys, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt. Cam's had a power cut, so he's gone.
Oh,
Just
yeah?
to let you guys know, yeah.
I thought he's
Oh,
very
I
small.
thought it was
Yeah.
frozen.
No, he's had a power cut.
Okay.
All
right.
He'll come back. So I was saying, people in refugee camp are always looking towards resettlement. So which means anytime they could be resettled to another country. So that's why when I was talking about the University of Nairobi getting involved in this, is so that they can devise a management system
Mhm.
that is not based on an individual,
Right, yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
system. So that if, let's say, the gentleman who's dealing with it now, if he gets resettled tomorrow, so there's no, the whole thing doesn't collapse because this person is left and is the only one who could do it. But so working with the university,
Okay.
and they're able to set up a system instead,
That's a
and
great
system,
idea, actually, and thank you for that.
that would be, that to me, that would be the way to go.
Dr. Simon, that's your end of the bargain, my friend.
It sounds very sensible, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because continuity is a very important thing.
Yeah.
If there, you see, Robert understands how it operates at the refugee camp, and ideally, like the person you identified, Sandy, supposing the person gets resettled, he'll get excited about his new destination and very quickly forget about the
Yeah.
studio. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
how will that work? And I think we need to plan for that too, and that is
Yeah.
extremely important. That is very
Yeah.
important.
that is being realistic as well, and I like that. And it's absolutely right. We want it to be so that if someone leaves, it continues and seamlessly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy with that. Is there any questions? Because obviously we know what's ahead now. We know how much time there is to go. I think right now it's about getting everything, like, I's dotted, T's crossed, and all that stuff, right? And building up kind of a database of resources. So, like Robert, you've got so many things, people, and these are just dropping into your head randomly. So I'm sure there's going to be a full database of people, resources that
I was in that industry for 25 years. So
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot to think through.
I'm part of the people who built it. So
Exactly.
yeah.
So I think in the meantime, what we're going to do is when we get this agreement signed with the University of Nairobi and the Vice Chancellor, we're going to have a meeting with the group again, the youth in the camp. And Robert, I'll let you know when that's happening, give you some notice so that you can come along, see them, they can see you, we can present the paper to them and really, give them a good amount of hope that is definitely happening. And then we'll go from there step by step. And if you could bring Giuliani or someone, that would be epic.
We lost Pretty.
I think we lost Pretty, but she did go. Yeah.
She's back.
Yeah, she's back.
Sorry, my internet connection went.
So
we lost her before, so she'll be back, I'm sure.
What I wanted to say is that, so what I will do is I might not be able to make it for so many meetings because I'm pretty busy here too as well. But what I will do is all these people I've mentioned, I will try to connect them with Sunny, and Sunny can continue the conversation with them. And when it's necessary for them to be part of the meeting, you can invite them just the same way you would invite any of us, because once you already have a conversation going with them. So I like to connect them, and then you take over the conversation with them, whatever they need to plug in or whatever we need to. And one thing else I would probably ask is, it would be great to ask the our guys in Kakuma already to just give you a briefing on whatever other projects are going on there by whom.
Yeah. Okay.
It would be nice just to know who else who is involved there, what are they doing.
Yeah.
It would be good to know as information, as even as we put this together. I think it will be. I'm sure Dr. Simon will want to have that information, as you know, they at the university is trying to, you know, come up with all these structures and ways to manage this thing. That's information that would be important for them.
They did tell me a
that's
couple of
extremely
things.
important.
They told me there's Kakuma Music who are getting donations in instruments, but they don't. I mean, they're trying to do classes, but there's not many instruments that have been donated, and they don't really have that much space to do it in. And they said there's one organization, can't remember the name, and he said they do talent competitions, but the only people they can do the talent competition in front of are the same residents they live with. So their music and their talent isn't getting out anywhere. It's not even televised. Right? And he goes, these people, they give, like, they promise them the world, cash prizes and everything, and he goes, nothing happens. So they've been constantly demoralized by projects saying that they're going to do something and nothing happening, which is why they have been for a long time apprehensive about this. Is only when we recorded the first meeting with Dr. Simon, and they've been going around the whole camp showing as many people as they can. And so now people are starting to think, okay, something is going on. So it's important that we keep this up. I'm also going to be showing them this meeting, and I'm also going to we're going to do the next one where we present the agreement to them, and we'll keep going like that so they know that this is for real. But I will ask them to make a comprehensive list, like you say, like, you know, so we know exactly what's happening now and who's doing it for sure. I will do that.
I think the strength of this project will be the fact that it can be end to end.
Yeah.
That is its strength. If it can be end to end, from the creation to the presentation to the world and everything, the full thing. Actually, when I was discussing with Giuliani, was the first thing he asked me.
Right.
And I told him the fact that Soundrig exists, it's an opportunity for them not just to create, also to post and be able to publish, and you know, and if we can take it further, you know, past publishing to performance as well, so then becomes end to end.
Exactly. I mean, this is how it came to my head, because I'd finished, I built and completed well, it's not completed, not by a long way, but I built something where they can do it. But the first part for them is the completely missing part, right? They have places to do it, but they just have nowhere to do the music and creation. So yeah, that was always the initial dream idea, the full 360 for them, right? So they're in control of everything.
All right, gentlemen.
Beautiful.
Lady.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. Dr. Simon, do you have anything last to say, Pretty?
And
Good.
Yeah, no, you can put the pad stuff down. I don't know what pad it down again.
I don't know where that's coming from. It's not from here.
Not from me.
What?
I thought one of you were speaking, but it was very muted.
Okay, I think we're good then. Robert, I will let you know when it's happening. If you can make it, that's amazing. If not, I'll wait to hear from you for the contacts. And Dr. Simon, you let us know, please, this week as soon as you get that paper signed, and we'll rock and roll.
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Lovely
thank
to meet
Thank you very much, Robert. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasant surprise. I didn't know actually you were coming.
Yeah, I told you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Surprise.
Dr. Simon, I said to Robert, I go, don't tell him that you're coming. And he goes, I haven't got his number. I haven't spoken to him. And I was like, yeah, of course you haven't. Yeah. So I'm not going to tell Dr. Simon. He knew he was coming, but you didn't.
Right. Okay.
It was really nice connecting with you again, Dr. Simon.
Right, Robert. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and it was nice to meet you, Pretty, as well. So
Likewise.
I'll check out
Robert,
your Insta.
Simon.
Yeah, I'll share this.
Oh,
All
I can
right,
put it.
take
I
care.
can put it in the. Oh, you've got it, Sonny, haven't you? You could share it.
Yeah, I'll share.
Yeah.
I'll share with Robert and Dr.
Lovely.
All right,
Thank
cool.
you.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Be well.
Well, what do you think about that, guys? It's in full swing, certainly, and I think with the people and the energy that's coming together for this, it's well, I don't think there's a chance of it failing. It's just how long will it take to get there? And that all depends on us and also the community in general. So if you have watched it this far, thank you very, very much. I do appreciate it. And I would sincerely hope that you feel the inclination to at least to vote for us in the Cardano Catalyst Fund 10. And I would very much like to do this with you, with us, with the Cardano community, because what I really want is that in the future, in the very near future, when people are creating and bringing their craft and their talents to the world through the blockchain, the first word on their mouth will be Cardano, right? And that is powerful beyond any measure. So so this is why I bought it here. This is why I personally waited so long for the right opportunity to build this on Cardano. I waited for Cardano. It could have been on Ethereum, but I was like, fuck that, no way. And there's reasons for that, which we won't go into. But yeah, so we are doing this, and I'd love to do it with you guys. So let's make it happen. Bye-bye.